Hi YouTube, welcome back. I'm making this introduction here just to explain myself basically. Um, as you can tell, it's a new background, this is a new location. I had a lot of plans for the summer and unfortunately um, they didn't pan out quite as I thought they would. I was doing that Abrams tank with my friend Julian, and me and Carol were doing the 16th scale kits. And life got in the way, basically. Without going into too much detail, we uh, we lost my grandmother on June 2nd, and after that, I made the choice to move in with my widowed grandfather just to help him take care of his house and not be so alone. And it's been very good. I'm glad I made that decision. So, with all that, all the time and energy that moving takes, along with change in job locations and different responsibilities, hasn't been much model building, and the model building I have done's been not very great quality, in my opinion. With that being said, it is just a hobby. I'm not quitting the hobby at all. But I think I need to not take a break. That's not what I'm saying. I just need to not set so many goals, I guess. I don't know. And if you've watched any of my content like the past 2 years, it's been pretty, I'll set a goal, I'll say I'm going to have something done by then, or I set a goal, I want to do this way or whatever, and it never really pans out that way. And part of that is just life, and the other part is just not lack of effort, just lack of uh, correct effort, I think, may be what I'm looking for. That being said, I'm gonna. The Abrams, not very happy with how it's turned out so far. I've started blocking at the camouflage. Tracks are done, all the conversion set's done, and everything. Assembly's been completed, and I started on the camouflage and just not having fun with it. Not happy, and I've put it up. Took it off my scale mates. Um, I might finish it. Um, I've offered it to my friend Julian, who was building the other Abrams, and he said if I would bring it up to St. Louis when I come, he'd take it. So I might end up doing that. Little tangent here. When we started that, he had one Abrams. That was in March, I believe, when we started. And then as of this, he's got enough for almost 2 platoons. If he takes mine, he'll have 2 platoons worth of Abrams tanks. So he's really kind of went hard in the paint with that type of tank. So I might just give it to him just for completion's sake. He does excellent work. He really does. He won best armor at the Gateway, and I think he's won best armor somewhere else too. But anyway, that's that. I'm taking that off my plate, basically. Um, This is just mocked up. None of this is really fit together. Here's the big Sherman tank. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to finish this before I start something else, because this kit is a lot of fun. Hold it up here. I made the suspension workable like it's supposed to be, and it really is a lot of fun. Carol's worked on hers. I'll show you it. This Greyhound. This is just mocked up here, but she's gonna do the. There it goes. The driver's hatches open and down, and there's interior. She did a very good job. Here's the landmines on the side there. And then she started on the turret. These are great kits, these Andy's Hobby Headquarters kits. I want to get his new half tracks, the 35th scale ones. Here is the breech. Everything's backwards on this camera. 37mm gun breech. You can see the sight right there. And then there is the caliber 30 machine gun. That'll be fun to paint. So that's going to be really great. I think this one had a little warping, so there's been a couple fit issues. But I think with the moving, when you move stuff, it breaks. I think with the moving everything, it warped a little bit, and it kind of sat for a while. So that certainly didn't help. But these are going to look great. I'm still doing the Tiger Face Sherman, and she's still doing the German Abrams. A little dusty. That's where we're at. What I would like to do next is a ship. I had bought, let me just get it. At the Nationals, I bought this kit. This is from Tom's Model Works, and they're pretty famous for photo etched parts for model ships and things of that nature. But as you can see, this is a 1 to 700 scale resin and 3D printed kit. This is completely resin, cast resin, and 3D printed. It's mostly 3D printed, and it has photo etch. But for example, here is, I believe this is the 01 level. I wish that camera would focus more. I wonder if it would help if I move that. If you're wondering what that is, it's a chain pull of a flamingo, and it hangs right in front of the camera. I bet that would help. Yeah, there it goes. That's the 01 level, as you can see, completely 3D printed. The cast bit is the hull here, or the hull above the waterline at least. This is cast. This is a waterline kit of the Oklahoma, and I've always been a fan of the Oklahoma. Of course, it took torpedoes at Pearl Harbor, rolled over, and sank with a lot of hands still aboard. And of course, they righted it in '44. Was towing it to California where it sank, and it's still down there. I don't think they've found it yet, but it's down there. There's no like mainstream kits of the Oklahoma, or there's some of them in Nevada, and 1 to 700 scale. I think Dragon made one. But none of the Oklahoma. There's a 350 scale model that was made by Iron Shipwrights, if you could find it, because they've been bought out and they're not producing right now. But this was the next best thing. Here's the photo etch details. And you get a complete decal sheet with signal flags and small and large shadowed hull numbers. So that's very nice. And then you do get, for the spotting seaplanes, you can't hardly see them, but they are United States roundels with the correct red dot in the center of the star. So a long introduction for this, like I said, and I just wanted to clear up some things. The Abrams is it's not gone for me. Well, it's probably gone for me. I will probably end up giving it to my buddy. So, and so that's off my plate. I'm gonna do the Sherman. Looking forward to getting back on that. That's a nice kit. It really is. It's more pieces than a Tamiya, but like the plastic is very nice. The way it takes glue is nice. The way parts go together is very nice. The instructions are okay. They're TACOM instructions. But I think I want to do this Oklahoma next. I've got a reference book on order for it, so that'll be here soon. But a long introduction today. This is going to be the Nationals video. When I first started at the convention, I had it in mind that I would just record everything. You'll see like Matthew does, he records shows and stuff. And I could do that, but it would have to be multiple videos. If you want to see videos of the Nationals room and whatnot, Squadron Shop has a YouTube channel, and they've put up videos of the contest hall. So what this video is going to be, if you're going to see a second introduction that I filmed, I believe on the last day. I filmed the introduction on the second day, and I actually took all the pictures on the last day. So you're going to see that introduction and pictures I took of just stuff that stood out to me, my favorites and categories and stuff like that. And that's going to be the rest of this video. So it's going to be a long one today. Sorry for the long preamble, but I just wanted to get everything out there, what the dead silence has been. And I know it's not like I'm letting anyone down or anything, so this is more for me than anything, I believe. So that being said, enjoy the rest of the video, enjoy the rest of the week, and thank you for watching, and we shall see you in the next one. Hi again, YouTube. As of last night at the judging, there were over 3,000 models here, and there's no way I'll be able to film all of them. There'll be 1,000. It'll be a 3-hour long video. So I'm going to show you some of my favorites here in sections, and hope you enjoy them. And if you didn't make it this year, try and come down to Huntsville next year, and hopefully you'll see us. Maybe I'll have something on the table next year. We'll see. So hope you enjoy it. I'm going to show some of the vendor rooms too, and it's really something.
super happy we got to come. Yeah, so hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.